Now, though, Nottingham Forest owner, how am I going to say his name? Evangelos Marinakis. I think that's it.
Nah, does it sound like that? Marinakis.
Stormed the pitch, confronted referee Paul Tierney after his side conceded a controversial 99th minute goal in their 1-0 defeat to Liverpool. But should owners just be seen and not heard?
You can hear the boos here at the City Ground for the officials, but Nunes with the late goal, real drama in the Premier League.
Serious.
Who'd want to be a referee in the modern game, eh? Yes, there's an error. The reaction over the top.
If Forest go down and say they get a few points penalties because of FFP breaches, I can see this running on beyond the end of the season.
I brought in the communication kits and therefore maybe his colleague could have helped him, but they didn't.
These referees are under far, far more pressure than any referee and officials have ever been.
That whole referee Clattenburg situation is just causing, for me, an abstraction from what is the real necessity, and that is the performance of the team.
We're at the elite level of football here in the Premier League. You can't afford mistakes like that because it might cost a manager his job.
You are frustrated, you are disappointed, you are sad, of course. It's a tough one to take.
Serious.
Just on the back of that, some breaking news. Paul Tierney will not referee a Premier League game this weekend and bizarrely will act as VAR for Arsenal against Brentford. I don't really understand how you can go, oi, what an awful mistake, come over here and work on this game.
I don't know who the guy was on there, and they said that referee's under the most pressure. That bit I agree with, where it must be every single decision they've been asked to make or VAR get involved, they're like petrified, like, if I get it wrong, but because that's a simple thing, giving the ball back to the team that had possession of the ball.
It's dreadful.
Yeah.
But what if you've got VAR, if you've got someone else watching the game, right? And I imagine a little bit of this is what happened when Liverpool scored that goal at Spurs. And they should have stopped the play, but they didn't.
Yeah.
But surely you've got people in VAR that can go, yeah, okay, we've checked it, the head injury's not as bad, okay, you got to start play again, drop ball, it's a drop ball to Forest.
Forest had the ball, so give the ball back to them. Yeah.
I don't get, and also, by the way, I'm going to have a pop at whoever edits Match of the Day, but when I watched that on Match of the Day, when I watched it on Match of the Day, the next thing you saw was a throw-in.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was afterwards, when they're talking about it, it went, oh yeah, it was, and I went, oh, in a drop ball, and then they showed you a replay of the drop ball. Anyway, it's such an easy mistake to get right, isn't it? You just need someone watching the game going, hey, no, you got that wrong. Give it back to Forest.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that mistake could have cost Forest survival because it's a long season, 38
exactly.
games, right?
That's the only thing I don't like is when people talk about.
But they could have won that game. They could have. Do you know what I mean? The result could have been different.
I get that. And listen, not Everton because their scenario is different because of the 10-point deduction, which has got reduced.
Yeah.
But if say Forest go get relegated by a point and they look back to this moment, I understand that and I get that. But clearly, 38-game season. Your form should be better anyway.
Yes.
So there's no point going back to one decision. You had 37 opportunities
I know, but still,
to get more points.
You don't know as a mindset how you feel in the next game going, taken out of our hands.
I agree with you, but I'm before that.
No, we're both right, right? We're
before
both
that.
right. We're both right. Just going back to the refereeing decisions, right? It's such an easy thing to get right, isn't it?
Yeah, but we've seen it before, and
I know.
they get so many things wrong.
But it's not like they're looking at video evidence and they're going, and you're looking at it going, no, you're measuring the armpit, it should be the leg. It's not like they're doing that. They're doing stuff that is so easy to correct.
Yeah. But at the minute, they're just making a rod for their own back. It's not. And everyone, we're in a day and age and a period where everyone's looking at every decision that a referee makes and being judged. But you're right. If you're deemed not good enough because you've made a mistake, then why are you putting them on VAR? Because if in some respects. And actually, not in some respects. There's more pressure in that room than there is on the pitch.
And there shouldn't be.
Because if you're the referee on the pitch, you just go, it's upstairs. If you get sent to the monitor, then you might go, I've got a decision to make here. But ultimately, they go with whatever they say anyway.
And we wait so long for decisions, 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you add this in, people go, take too long. It won't add any time. And you'll always get the right answer.
You know full well now, with him being in the VAR room, there's going to be a big decision to be made. I think his next game is Arsenal-Brentford.
Yeah.
He better make the right decision, I'll tell you that.
So he's in the VAR room for that game?
You watch.
I don't understand how you can take him off the field of play and put him
into a pressurised cooker, because that's what a VAR room is.
Yeah. Would you say there's more pressure in there than there is on the pitch?
Yeah. For referees now, because they ain't got to make a decision.
I know, but you're making a decision in front of 50, 60, 70,000 people.
No, now you run around, it's fine. You still got little decisions to make here and there, but the big main decisions which obviously, ultimately, with whether you win or lose, the only time you've got to make a decision is if you get sent to the monitor, and then you've got to decide whether you think it's a penalty or not. Or...
Do you think, like the audio that was released for that Liverpool goal? You remember that?
Yeah.
Do you think they should release the audio
Liverpool
for this?
Spurs about the not drawing the line?
Yeah. No. About you started play, it wasn't offside. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, Liverpool Tottenham.
Yeah. And we eventually, after a few days, we heard the audio was released. It'd be interesting to see if they release the audio for this. If anyone at Stockley Park says, no, it wasn't a drop ball for Liverpool.
I don't think they would have done.
You don't think so?
Or maybe,
so you're saying no one got it right?
Maybe after the effect, I might go, oh, Forest had the ball. But you've given it to Kelly. They dropped it for Kelly, didn't they, the goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Maybe, but...
Okay, I'll play devil's advocate. Am I being a little bit too harsh on referees? They are human. They make mistakes.
I don't think people... I think when referees there was no VAR, I think people were more lenient on referees because they had no replays. It was in-game. Sometimes they got decisions wrong, sometimes they got it right. But I think people are getting more and more infuriated with referees and VAR because the technology's there and they're still making schoolboy errors. Yeah. Like Forest drop ball, not giving it back to the right team. Like Liverpool versus Spurs, not drawing the lines. I think that's what people are like, well, hold on, we pay all this money for this technology.
You're right.
And they're still not getting it right.
If we didn't have VAR, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It'd be like, we made a mistake.
No, because VAR was brought in to help.
You're right. Okay, listen, you can have your call or your says. Your says? Oh, I hate people that say that. Your says. Have your say on that. Oh. 03717223344. We'll stay with that game. The Nottingham Forest owner, Evangelos Marinakis, stormed the pitch and confronted referee Paul Tierney after his side conceded a controversial 99th minute goal in their 1-0 defeat to Liverpool. Now, the Forest gaffer, Nuno Espirito Santo, was quizzed on the owner's actions after the match and was not happy.
Come on, please, don't insist on that, please. Please, honestly. Don't insist on that. It will not be good. Please don't insist on that. Let's speak about the game. Let's speak anything about you want, but that will be discussing point for sure during the week. So we've been speaking over and over again. I hope decisions come better. So let's move forward. Okay.
What's your view on all things owners storming the pitch?
Well, first of all, I get that situation with Nuno. He's here to talk about the game. Stop talking about the owner.
I know, but you want to talk about it, right?
Of course, but he's going to get frustrated. But the owner, see, it's a difficult one because I had a situation at Derby. I think I told you before where we were due to go to Dubai for a training trip, and I think at the weekend we had to beat Hartlepool in the cup because the way the fixtures would have fallen, we beat Hartlepool away in the cup, and then with the way the fixtures would fall, we got to go to Dubai. And I think we only drew. We either drew with Reading or we drew the game before, and then we drew with Reading. And we got into the change room and Mel Morris was already in there and he was going absolutely ballistic, just going, you lot are not going anywhere, we're not going to Dubai, like what kind of performance is this like? And I think when an owner does that in the dressing room, it almost underlines the manager, because I think Paul Clements was the manager at the time and he's just in the corner thinking, well, what can he say? He can't say to the owner, no, get out. Do you know what I mean? He couldn't do anything. He's almost got his hands tied behind his back, but Mel Morris came down and was ranting, and it's a difficult one because part of me agrees with what Dan said earlier in the meeting. He said that if you own the club and you invest millions upon millions in the club, you could pretty much, within reason, do what you want, storm down. But then part of me thinks, I just like owners that they invest the money and then, they make decisions. They're seen every now and then. But if it in terms of on-field activity, referees and coaching and all that, no, leave that to them. You just stay up there.
So you can argue. I understand exactly what you're saying. I sort of agree with both aspects, but you can argue if you're the owner and you've employed someone to do a job, let them do the job. Yeah. Right? You're not qualified to be a manager.
Of course.
You're qualified to be an owner.
Yeah.
So you should have every belief that the person you've decided to lead your club is good at what they're doing. If you had that for argument's sake, if you had one of the big heads here come in every single day, go, Benty, you're saying this, you got to be saying that, it would drive you absolutely mad. Yeah. You'd lose confidence in yourself. I'd be sitting there going, oh, does Benty not know what he's talking about?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then from that moment onwards, you would always feel a completely different pressure because you'll know that at any minute that could happen again.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't think it's good for a football club.
It's not, but then from his perspective, if you're the big head over there and you're the one who invested all the money into
get another manager then.
I get that, but like, how can anyone else tell him what he can and can't do if he's investing all his money into the football club?
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean? But then
I see that. I see that side.
It's such a difficult one, but I always think like certain managers, like you speak to Chelsea players about Abramovich and however it ended, I know how it ended, but when they were winning trophies and he was, I can't remember who it was, I think I listened to a podcast saying, and Frank Lampard said, you'd only hear Abramovich come down and go, really important game, big game. Give it all the best. Love to you all, and you'll be off again.
Boom. I don't think I ever heard an interview with Abramovich.
And he always made it quite crystal clear.
Daniel, leave you another one. Very rarely have you ever heard him speak.
But with Abramovich, he's always crystal clear. He's like, if I'm giving you everything you need to succeed at Chelsea as a manager, and after 8-9 months, it's not going the way that you've told me it's going to go, then I'll get rid of you and get someone else.
Okay,
in.
just quickly, what do you make of him, Evangelos, getting onto the pitch?
See, that I don't agree with, because then all the fans see it and it makes a bit of a mockery of it. And
how do you think the Forest fans felt?
I don't think they're happy with it. I was speaking to one, spoke to one today, and he didn't like the way it made his club look. The owner on the pitch.
Is it embarrassing? The other fans laugh at it.
You know, if the owner wants to come down and have a pop at the ref, which I'm not saying he should do, because I don't think he should, do it in the tunnel where there's no cameras down there.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't go.
There's cameras everywhere, but I agree.
You rarely get any kind of camera footage from the tunnel going. Do you know what I mean? Or going to his office.
Yeah. I agree. Wow, I'm looking forward to this one. This will be fun. Lots to talk about on Umtedale. Forest fans, are you a bit embarrassed about what happened at the weekend? Or do you go, no, it's good that we saw him on the pitch?
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.